Let's welcome in Coach Clawson. Coach, thanks for making the time this morning. At the end of last year, you were very honest with yourself and said you needed to do some soul searching. Was wondering what that process looked like and how it could translate to a possibly different fall camp.
I think anytime you have a thud of a season like we had after the run of success we had, you got to look at yourself first. And, I think we had a bunch of players that were just used to success, maybe weren't part of the process that helped get us there. And I just think we had to go back to our roots a little bit in terms of the off-season program and, fostering that competition and, really trying to find guys that love football for all the right reasons and not necessarily guys that are just in it for the NIL. We know that's part of it, but if you don't love this game, it doesn't matter, what you're getting from a collective or an outside source. This is a hard sport, and if you don't love it, you're probably not going to be very good at it. So I just think we tried to really find out who loves the game, who loves their teammates, and who wants to play for Wake Forest.
Coach, this team and your entire time here has been about recruiting, retaining, and developing. And the lines of scrimmage are great for you guys when you're old and experienced. And it looks like you have that on the offensive and defensive lines. How important is that to a team that isn't about the NIL necessarily, brings in good players, and then develops them into great players?
Well, I've said that, like everyone else, we've had to adjust to this era. So I don't think necessary our program philosophy of recruit, retain, develop, where we have to be more of a participant in NIL, and we are this year, is that when we recruit the right guys and we retain them, we got to have enough collective and enough NIL that we keep our best players. So, it's hard when you lose a Sam Hartman and a Rondell Bothroyd and the level of players we lost after the 22 season into 23. And again, I'm very optimistic because after 23, we kept Jasheen Davis, we kept Kevin Pointer, we kept Devontae Gordon, we kept Donovan Green. So you identify, okay, who are the guys you cannot afford to lose if you're going to have a competitive football team. And we didn't retain all of them, but we retained most of them. And that's why, again, we're going to be an older football team. And when we're older, traditionally, we're better.
You mentioned Sam Hartman. Of course, there's been such a run of successful quarterbacks here from John Walford through Sam. Last year was not the quarterback performance that you wanted. You've got Michael Kern, who I think showed some flashes last year, and then you bring in Hank Bachmeier. How do you evaluate where they stand in that battle right now, and what's the sort of timeline in your mind moving forward?
Well, I mean, first off, going back to last year, I think any time that you blame one position or one person for a lack of success, that's not accurate. We didn't play well around the quarterback last year. We gave up more sacks than we've traditionally given up. We dropped more balls. We turned the ball over at other positions too. And so it's not just one position. We have to play better around the quarterback position so that position has a chance. Having said that, you have Michael Kern, who's back for his 6th year, that played really well in the Syracuse game, and probably wouldn't have had an opportunity to play more last year if he didn't get hurt against Virginia Tech. And then we wanted to bring in a guy that had experience, that played a lot of football, and we have that with Hank Bachmeier. So right now, it's a competition. There's no timetable that we have set to make the decision. Obviously, by game 1, the first snap, somebody has to go out there. But in every year here except one, we've had to play 2 quarterbacks for injury reasons. And so those are 2 guys. We're going to try to keep them both going, and they're both good teammates, and they've both been supportive of each other, and you're going to have a chance to visit with them both later today.
Well, Coach, regardless of who starts, they're going to have a host of wide receivers to throw to. Speak about some of the young guys that are developing in addition to having a Donovan Green healthy again.
Well, again, our philosophy at receiver, and this is where over the 7-year run that we've been really good, is we had really good older top-line guys, whether it be Scotty Washington, Greg Dortch, Sage Surratt, Kendall Hinton. But we've always had the next generation in place. And then this year, if you look, we're old again. You have Donovan Green that I've known for 8 years. Between recruiting him as a junior and a senior in high school, now this is his 6th year. Taylor Marin is in his 6th year. Horatio Fields is having a really good camp for us in his 4th year. And then you have all these younger players that are really having good camps for us. Deuce Alexander, Micah Mays, Jeremiah Melvin. And then we still don't have Walker Morrell out there that we hope to have soon. So I think we have really good top-line guys, but then I also think we have really good young depth that will help us this year, and then when those guys graduate, we'll be in really good shape a year from now.
Coach, we got to let you go, but the beard, is it sticking around or are you getting rid of it?
No.
Oh, I like it.
No, this is a
It's a power move. All the good ones have a beard.
Sometimes, you watch different things on ESPN, and there's certain journalists, guys that you really admire their look.
I can't argue with that.
Who other than David has a beard?
If I could just look like that one day,
Trendsetter Dave.
You
It's
start,
coming nicely.
kind of saying
The grays are the part that really match.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Cruise, David Hale. Which one do I have a shot of achieving?
And now Clawson, wow, that is a phenomenal Mount Rushmore.
Oh, what a list.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the
Aim
time.
high, Dave.
It looks
That's
good.
what I appreciate about you.
You're red.
You are. You've changed shades of color.
Well.